It is chilly as we are starting off the day. These temperatures are down into the upper 30s, and many of us will be looking at those highs later today only in the upper 40s. And one reason why we're not going to see too much change is because of the cloud cover. Of course, I know you can see it behind me, a lot of clouds out there, and if you go outside and look for yourself, you're going to see these clouds moving very quickly down towards the southwest. So that should tell you that we have a very strong northeast wind, and that's why the wind chill is so low to start off the day. So even though we're starting off right around 39, 40 degrees for a lot of us here in middle Georgia, it's feeling closer towards the lower 30s. So make sure to grab a heavier jacket. Make sure to even get gloves too if you need them. And if you're taking out your kids at the bus stop, which I know many kids have already gone out, make sure they have one of the heavier jackets. Also, if you're taking out your dog for a walk, make sure you're prepared for that too. Now, overall, we are going to be seeing some changes here over the next week. Temperatures will be warming up. This is the coldest day that we are going to be seeing over the next 10 days, as we are expecting a very nice warm up as we get into the start of next week. And for this weekend, a lot of us are going to be in the 50s and see a lot more sunshine, but some small rain chances will be moving in as we get into later on this evening. And I'll talk about that in 10 minutes. But first, I want to go ahead and hand things off to Amaris Jenkins, who has been outside for the past 3 hours being a trooper here with all this cold air. Amaris, how's it going on that side of town?
Yeah, Daniel, it is freezing out here. And Major Gillum and I, we've been out here in this cold weather, like you said, all morning. Thank you so much again for taking the time to be out here in this freezing weather. So we're here at the Salvation Army. You all need donations. What time do you all open so people know in case they want to come here and donate?
Well, right now we're actually in 24/7 operations around the clock. We're trying to keep people inside during this inclement weather, and of course that's going to last for several days now. So, but we're looking for donations of coats, especially socks, gloves, blankets, things of that nature to keep people warm, and anything that folks can help supply is greatly appreciated.
What about maybe some water, canned good food items?
Absolutely. We're always in need because we do feed folks both all through the day. And so anything that they can supply as far as canned goods would be much needed here.
Okay, and that's for all ages, correct, and males and females? Yeah,
we have women, children, families that are staying with us right now. And so everyone from toddlers up to senior citizens.
So we need those donations here at the Salvation Army. Again, that location is 1955 Broadway right here in downtown Macon, and the website is salvationarmymacon.org. And if you do need any additional information, it will be on our website as well, WGXA.tv. We are live in downtown Macon. I'm Amaris Jenkins, WGXA News.
All right, stay warm out there, you too. But let's also take a look at some of the other stories we're following for you this morning. Washington state sheriffs say a teacher has been arrested after allegedly threatening to shoot students.
Plus, we're following some developing news out of Oregon after a bus driver crashed with the bus and having students on board.
But first, criminal charges are filed against 3 school administrators in the death of an autistic student. The story we brought to you yesterday where those 3 school administrators charged in the 2018 death of a special needs student were arraigned in an El Dorado County, California courtroom yesterday. Now Benson's special education teacher, his principal, and the school's executive director are each being charged with manslaughter. Doug Johnson has more.
Now facing manslaughter charges for the death of 13-year-old Max Benson stood before an El Dorado County judge for the first time today. We were only allowed to take still photos of Benson's special education teacher Kimberly Woland, his principal Star Ann Myers, and the school's executive director Cindy Keller, but all 3 pleaded not guilty.
It is always a tragedy when there is a loss of life, especially such a young life.
Linda Parisi represents Keller and Myers, both of whom used to own Guiding Hands School.
These 2 women have dedicated literally their entire lives to helping, educating, encouraging, and working with special needs students. They have a 25-year history of exemplary service to this community.
But their attorney was not the only one speaking on their behalf.
These are probably 2 of the most moral people you have ever met. And in a million years, they would never harm a child.
Cindy Brown made these signs she displayed outside the courthouse. She says Guiding Hands was a godsend for 5 of her adopted children who had autism and have since had trouble finding the same services elsewhere.
What people don't realize, they always say, oh, we'll put them somewhere. I would like the address of somewhere. A lot of them have nowhere to go.
Also defending the 3 accused was former Guiding Hands teacher Kyle McCoy. who worked at the school at the beginning of the last school year it was open.
I feel like they possibly think that there was some kind of inappropriate procedures done, or maybe there was not correct training done, or things like that, which I would say is completely false.
McCoy says although what happened to Max was tragic, the school should not be put to blame, especially considering the restraint that Max was put in at the time was legally accepted by the state.
A restraint that had been used by our program, by other programs, and it had always been intact for us through the whole year.
In your local headlines, deputies are currently looking for a suspect they say is using a stolen truck out of Houston County to commit thefts in Macon. This is actually what that truck looks like. Deputies say the suspect was reported stolen from a home in Kathleen on November the 5th. The first theft was a pressure washer from the Lowe's on Macon Tech. The second theft was from a Foot Mart on Houston Road. Anyone with any information, you're asked to contact Macon Regional Crime Stoppers.
And we have an update on the Macon Water Authority's recent ransomware attack. The customer care services and businesses are back to running normally. The day-to-day operations now has backups on all its customers' data, and the servers are back online to carry other daily functions. This is a statement from the executive director and president thanking everyone for their understanding. The MWA will be able to accept credit card payments and all other methods of payments. No late fees will be given to any of their customers for the time customers may have not been able to access their online portal. And shocking news from the West Coast: a teacher arrested for something she allegedly said. Stay tuned to find out what all happened.